Welcome to JTD Talks, where we talk all things boys, business, and beauty in the Black community. My name is Shakira Green, and in today's episode, we're talking all about real estate. And you guys know I have no real estate background whatsoever, so I have two very special guests joining me today to help me share some information with you guys. Now, our first guest is a young man who, at the very young age of 19 years old, became a licensed real estate agent for Keller Williams almost immediately after graduating from Cleveland Heights High School, becoming one of the youngest real estate agents in the state of Ohio, as well as the only real estate agent in his family. So now this young man is on a journey of breaking generational curses and creating financial freedom with himself and his family through the power of entrepreneurship and real estate, while also informing his family and peers on the importance of cryptocurrency and investing, all while recurring a total of $0 in debts and student loans. So please help me give a warm welcome to my little brother, y'all, Mr. Antonio Smith.
Thank you. That was a fire introduction.
Thank you. You know what I'm saying? I want to do y'all right. I want to do y'all right.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, our second guest is doing so much for the city of Cleveland that his nickname, Not Your Average Agent, is truly a testament to how versatile and resourceful he is. Not only will this gentleman help you walk you through your home buying journey with his free Legacy Starts program, but he will also get you and your credit prepared for the journey with his credit solution company, Gate Street Solution, all while being an assistant manager. Directive recruiter of his brokerage firm, Next Property Solution. But he doesn't stop there. No, this young man takes it a step further by organizing networking opportunities for other entrepreneurs with two other beautifully talented young women with their business, The Pull-Up Experience, which is also the name of their podcast. And he also creates and supports mentorship program dedicated to educating young men on leadership, providing and protecting themselves with their family and their community with groups such as the Gathering of Kings. Now you can learn all about this young man on his IG, Not Your Average Agent, where he shares quick home buying tips, inspirational and motivational quotes, as well as the occasional funny videos on the home buying process. Now please help me catch my breath and give a warm welcome to Mr. Brandon Gates.
You,
Woo!
you the intro. You are just killing the intros though. Like
You know what I'm
Really,
saying? Thank
really.
you. You know, I want to do y'all right for this. You know,
I
I'm excited
appreciate
to
that.
have y'all here.
Hey, listen, when you say I'm like I'm doing too much now. Like I'm like I ain't not doing all that.
You're doing a lot. Look, I did my research. I'm
I,
like, oh, this man don't stop. He is in the
I
city.
appreciate that. I appreciate that. And shout out to you,
You
by the
are.
way, Antonio. And thank you for having me on. By the way, thank you guys.
Thank you. You're so welcome. I'm honored. I'm honored. Now, if it's up to me, I'm going to be calling y'all Mr. Gates and Mr. Smith through the entire podcast. So, is there any other name that you guys would like to go for, or would like me to call you guys?
That's good.
For me, I'm an old man, so Mr. Gates is my father. You can call,
Okay.
and this is part of my, I guess, part of my charm, or what you like to call me when I say I'm an average agent. You just call me B. Just call me B.
Okay.
We're family
Oh,
now, so we good.
awesome. Awesome. Okay. So, you guys, like I said, both of these gentlemen are licensed real estate agents. So, I just have to ask, Mr. Smith, what made you choose real estate as your career field?
So I was always hearing about real estate, but I actually didn't get into it until my mom had told me about it after I had got fired from my job at Nestle. She was
Mm.
like, yeah, she was like, why don't you just get into real estate? Because I was telling her like I don't really want to work a job, and it was kind of showing up at the jobs I was working at. But my
Mm.
very first job at KFC, I knew I didn't want to work till I was 60 or 70 and retire
Mm.
that late, you know. So
Yeah.
I just started searching up ways to make like passive income and stuff like that. And real estate was one of those ways. So when she mentioned it to me, I was like, oh yeah, I definitely got to get into that.
Yes, yes,
That's
I definitely agree. I definitely agree. I also was one of those people who went to work and it just felt like, I exceeded in every job that I was at, but it just felt like I wasn't happy. I
Yeah.
wasn't pursuing my dream. So, Mr. Gates, I know that you have been a licensed real estate agent. I believe this is your second year now, going on your second year.
Yep.
Awesome. And how has real estate, if it has, changed your view on how money can be made in today's society?
I think the great thing about real estate is that it's so versatile because you can earn money through real estate in so many different ways. I think that's what I love about real estate. That it's just it's so many ways you can go about it because you can go the conventional way, which is how me and Antonio are real estate agents, or you can go wholesale
Mm-hmm.
route, or you can be invested. There's so many things you can do real estate. It's not even funny. That's what I love about it because there's so much untapped potential that we as a people haven't even begun to scratch the surface on.
Yeah.
Um, and that's why I love about it because, like Antonio, shout out to you by the way, Antonio. You're 19, man. I'm gonna be working for you one.
Appreciate it.
I'm
Appreciate
working
it,
for
man.
you, man. Shout out to you, man. And I just love that. Like he's 19. He's gonna be a mogul probably before he turns 30. If he,
That's what I told my mom. I said, Mom, I see him making millions
oh,
at 21. You know what I'm saying?
exactly,
So, yes.
exactly. No, and that's what I love
Mhm.
about real estate because if with the right information, anyone can become an investor. Anyone can become a landlord. Anyone can become, they can have generational wealth just by making sure that you have something that you can leverage with the bank. And with real estate, you can do just that. So that's why I am very intentional in teaching our people just on how they can change their life just through owning their own home. Because after you own your home so long, you create equity. The equity you can use to put on your kids' college, which makes it so they can go to, they can get a better job, or you can use it for
Mhm.
your business. It's just so many different things. I promise you, we can be all day with it. But as no real estate,
Yeah.
I believe honesty, the vehicle is going to be the game changer for us as the people. So that's why I'm so passionate about it.
Yes, yes. Real estate definitely can advance your financial freedom, expand your financial freedom because, like you said, it's so many different ways to make money in real estate. Now, Mr. Smith, you've done your research when it comes to cryptocurrency, the metaverse, Bitcoin, et cetera, et cetera. Once this extra money starts rolling in, what do you suggest that, really everyone, but especially young people start doing with their money, the extra money to at least expand on their financial freedom?
As far as crypto or real estate or both.
Crypto, real estate, investing, whichever one you want to touch on.
Um, Firstly, I say invest, but you need to know what you're investing in, and you need
Mm-hmm.
to find out. Because I mean, everybody tell you to invest in certain things, but you don't actually know what you're investing in. And I
Mm-hmm.
say, definitely have like an amount of money to fall back on just in case it doesn't work out. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but definitely get your head wrapped around crypto, NFTs, and the metaverse, everything, because I do believe that that's going to be the future of just the future in general, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. Do you think that cryptocurrency will eventually become a legitimate way to buy, sell, and trade properties?
Yes. I say I say about 50% of real estate transactions are going to be crypto within the next 10 years.
Mm.
Maybe even sooner than that. It's this coin. It's basically a platform called Proppy, and it's
Mm-hmm.
the first way to actually buy and sell real estate or list real estate. And you can buy it with crypto or NFTs and stuff like that. So
So they already starting that
yeah,
process.
they already starting. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's some good points. I didn't even know that. Did you know that, Mr.
Hmm.
Gates? That they were.
Listen, I'm an old man, so listen, shout out to that man. Hey, we gotta talk about this, Antonio, because we can do things, man. Don't.
Yeah,
Hey,
definitely.
yes.
Yay. Yes, so that was very interesting. Again, I did not know that.
Yeah.
But that's only just one part of how technology is changing the real estate game. You also
Hmm.
have new technology developments such as social media, which wasn't, hot or available to some real estate agents, just a few years prior. Now, Mr.
Hmm.
Gates, it seems like you take full advantage of your social media. And so how has social media or any new technology developments changed the real estate game for you?
So for me, I'm a very cheap man.
Mhm.
And I said that because
Mhm.
I said to myself, because one of the things people don't understand when you're a real estate agent, it costs to be a real estate agent. You got to pay dues, you have to pay all these fees. And at that time, I was still working 9 to 5, but I wanted to leverage everything I could as far as free before I start paying for
Mhm.
stuff, right?
Mhm.
So I said, if I got the social media, why not put it to good use versus just using to scroll up and see what the what the latest things going on with these celebrities, right?
Yeah.
So I already had courses on different ways to leverage your social media, but like actually putting it to use was the key. And my
Mhm.
thing is this: I tell anybody this because in my brokerage, unfortunately, I'm like everyone comes to me social media now because they see my following. But I always tell them this: post every day, and I post
Mhm.
literally, if not twice, maybe 3 times a day. And I want to make it so that anyone think about real estate, they'll automatically think about me because I've already
Mhm.
posted. When you wake up in the morning, like now, you know what I'm saying? I usually post first thing in the morning, at lunch when you're on your break, and sometime to eat when you're watching a movie. I mean, you watch, sit down for the evening. And that
Mhm.
way, once again, you thinking me regardless. You're like, dang, I know I need to find myself a house or I need to sell my house. Who should I call? Oh, that dude Brent.
Mhm.
Because he
Mhm.
posts about how it's so constant. I read this quote that I thought was so dope. It said, if as an entrepreneur, if you haven't annoyed anyone by 12 o'clock, you're not doing it right. If
Yeah.
someone hasn't blocked you or just say, "Oh man, here come to do it. Here come to do it again," that's how pushing you
Right.
to social media, and that's across all platforms because that's LinkedIn, that's Facebook, that's Instagram, that's Twitter, that's every platform you can because these are free things that you can leverage if you just being intentional and strategic with it. So I learned
Yeah.
that, I leveraged that, and it's been working because that's literally where I get 70% of my leads, 70%.
Awesome. So, since you get 70% of your leads from social media, what other things have you done to like build your clientele up as a real estate agent, Mr. Gates?
I'm glad you asked. I mean, like I said, I'm a big rap fan, right? And
Mhm.
I like monikers, right? So I'm like, man, one, if you think about real estate, you think somebody in this suit with a briefcase, right? And I'm like, man, I want to change that. As you can see, I'm in a hoodie. I wear a hoodie. I got a book bag with me when I go to my client, when I go to my consultations or whatnot. And then one of
Mhm.
the things that I said to myself is that I want to make sure I'm different from everyone else, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And um, one of the things that did for me was that the fact of uh, I leverage networking as my way to get new leads. So the podcast, I'm trying to tell you,
Mhm.
like how you guys do right now, the greatest hack ever known to man. Because I
Mhm.
will meet so many interesting people, and they will literally say, "You're my agent going forward," or you know what
Mhm.
I'm saying, like if I need anything real estate, I'm going to come to you. And we meet these different people through the podcast, and then we put on these events also. And every time we put on an event, see, I'm an introvert by nature, so I don't know why
Mhm.
everybody thinks I'm so social. I'm not. But my
Me
Me
thing is
too.
this, when we put on these events, you're the one in control. Everyone's coming to see
Mhm.
you per se, right? And they have to come and see you because they're like, "Oh, thank you for the event." And when they're doing that, well, hey, I appreciate it. My name is Brandon, da da da, this, that, and the other. And it kind of puts you in the forefront without having to actually be in the forefront. And
Yeah.
it really has helped in every way possible because once again, because they sat down with me, I talked to them, they find me interesting, which is cool, and they're like, well, when I want to buy a house, I'm gonna come see you, or I have a friend that knows that wants to buy a house, and like I heard that on the podcast a little while ago. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ty Bender, but when he said it, I
Mhm.
promise you, a light bulb went off in my head. He was like, the greatest hack he could actually say is when coming to networking was having a podcast, and it's been working ever since.
Yeah. Yes. Having a podcast, well, first of all, let me just go back. I'm an introvert as well. Like even this interview, I know it's with like half of the guests is family, but I'm like, oh my God, I'm kind of nervous, but it's just once you building a brand too,
Hmm.
you kind of have to put your nervousness aside and look for the bigger picture.
Absolutely.
I've read like people need to know your story. People need to know that you are available because, you know, you may be the teacher that somebody needs.
Yeah.
Maybe they can relate to other people. So, yes, it's very important. Even our introverts out there, I hope y'all listening.
Hmm.
You can still be introverted and protect your peace in your space because that's really why I'm an introvert. Like, protecting my peace and my space at
Yep.
all costs, but you
Mm.
can also do this by thriving in your business. Now, Mr. Smith, you have a lot of peers that are 19, 18,
Mm.
20 young men who wouldn't even know where to start when it comes to entrepreneurship or real estate or things like that. So focusing even just on entrepreneurship,
Hmm.
explain how either easy or hard the journey has been, but explain how you feel the benefits will exceed any obstacles that you go throughout this.
Uh, as young as I am, it's kind of been. Uh, I wouldn't say it's been difficult, but I think. Sorry, I think it's
Mhm,
challenges in everything.
mhm,
So I think if you have the right mindset and you actually have the dedication and the persistence to keep going through anything,
mhm,
you definitely can just you definitely can be successful with anything you do. For me,
mhm,
it was the fact that um like I said, I know I just didn't want to work a job, so it's like I kind of didn't have a choice. So it's
mhm,
like I have to be an entrepreneur. So um but for anybody else, I would say like definitely just find what you're passionate about, because when you're
mhm,
passionate, it feels like the thing that you're doing doesn't feel like work. So
mhm.
Mm.
I just kind of feel like if you're enjoying what you do, it's gonna make things much easier.
Yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that. And eventually, like you said, if you find something you're passionate in and you work towards it and that's just really what you love or you dedicated to, um, it may not feel like work. And even if it do feel like work, you understand that the end journey, the benefit
Mhm.
of it is, it's gonna bloom 10 times fold.
Yeah.
So it's gonna make it all worth it. And eventually you can basically like create even a legacy for your family.
Mhm.
And going talking about legacies, Mr. Gates, your free legacy starts program is trying to make 100 people in the city of Cleveland investors and home buyers. So, and it's a free program. Did y'all hear me? It is free and he will walk you through this journey. So can you please expand on what legacy start is and how people can join the program and be a part?
Oh, well, I appreciate it. Once again, I want to shout out to that young man right there. Shout out to Antonio, man. You doing it, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you doing it. Like, that's
Yes. Thank
bro. I was going to shout you out again, man. But late start. So I'm an old man. I bought my house 10 years ago. When I did, unfortunately, the agent who I went through, and this kind of where it kind of birthed out me trying to become a real estate agent. It wasn't birthed out of like ambition, like Antonio. It was more so out of like necessity, as far as like I seen that agent, you know what I'm saying? Like agents, they would look at people as commission check and not as an actual person. Like after the transaction was over with,
you.
no one was around to, you know what I'm saying, ask my questions afterwards, right?
Mm-hmm.
I literally said to myself, like, that's kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I'm not just a check, I'm an actual person. Cause I had, you know what I'm saying? And then at that time, I was the only person in my family, and then my ex-wife's family. We both were first time home buyers, right? So we had a lot of
Mm-hmm.
questions afterwards, right? And I said to myself, it shouldn't be like this. It shouldn't be
Yeah.
like this. Like, it should be a way that people should be educated on. Someone should be there from the beginning and not even to the end till afterwards, because that's how
Yeah.
most transactions should be, right? It's not just transactional. And literally, I was in church, and the pastor said something. He was talking about legacies being created, and I'm like, man, that's crazy. And like how we the people, we understand the importance of legacies. If y'all familiar with Jay-Z's 444, best album of all time, and and I just love how that album was dedicated to educating us as a people. So I said, man, I need to do something like that and do something in my
Mm-hmm.
community that's just as impactful as that. And and that's what it was. I told my broker about it, and he was right behind. He was like, "Well, you can have it here." And it
Mm-hmm.
started off with just because so my credit was jacked up in the back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I can't go into detail, but it was all bad. and
Yeah.
and as anyone know, when you're trying to buy a house, the biggest component when it comes down to qualifying for a home is your credit. And
Mm-hmm.
I went with, I'm not going to say nobody's name, but I went to do some agencies, and
Mm-hmm.
they were not really helpful in that either. Like they would charge me this amount of money, and the results were like dismal. I'm like, It's not working.
Yeah.
So I did my research. I started looking different things up, and I started doing my credit. But then I started helping other people around me to credit also, and I seen the results behind it. I'm like, cool, like this is something I could do. And this is before I got my
Yeah.
license, right?
Right.
So after I got my license, I will meet with people, and they be like, man, I want to buy a home, but my credit is jacked up, or you know what I'm saying, like I got everything I need. I got this, and this. My credit, once again, I'm like, well, shoot, I can help you with that. And I'm like, man, I need
Hmm.
to do this on a bigger scale. So I created these ebooks that I would send to people. I'm like, hey, because my thing is now time the biggest issue. Like I really don't have the time to
Hmm.
like sit down with every single person. So how can I get everybody in the group setting and be able to
Hmm.
give them information and then what I'm saying, help along the way, but where I'm not going in 6 different directions, right? And that's when
Right.
starts came in. Then we start partnering with lenders, and we start partnering with contractors or handyman. So once again, the whole process, the first, as everyone knows, the first part of the process is mindset. Because if you want to be,
Hmm.
say you want to own a home, you got to have a whole different mindset. Because you're not a renter anymore, you'll be owning that, right? So we work on
Yeah.
that rather than mindset. Then we go to the credit. Credit, that's not that hard. After that, we get you pre-approved. As you get pre-approved, then we go find your home. But then, as anyone knows, because about 90% of my clientele are women. Unfortunately,
Okay.
because if you're trying to buy a home, do it. Don't wait for your girl to tell you to buy a home. You do it yourself, right?
Hmm.
But a lot of women that I work with, they need help with as far as maintenance. They need help as far as lawn care. They need help as far as there's no what to do when they buy a home. And I
Yeah.
partner with some great people who are able to help out these women. And once again, and what happens is out of this, they tell their friends about it. And once again,
Hmm.
it creates this funnel. And this is for you, Antonio. You know what I'm saying? Create that funnel to make people think, man, that transaction was so dope. I gotta tell my friend about Antonio or whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that separates you from the next agent. So just think about that. So
Yes, that's actually really great because I would be that person that done bought a house and sitting here waiting for a property manager to come cut the grass, like and then like you said, most agents once the home buying process is over, it's over. So we would be stuck. Like, okay, what? So who do I call? What do I do now? And probably wasting a lot of money trying to figure things out ourselves
mhm,
when we have an awesome real estate agent who's like, if you need something, call me. Who can point us in the right
correct.
direction.
Yeah.
So that's awesome that you offer those services after. That's really an awesome thing. So now, Tony, as a legacy starter yourself, how do you plan to use your real estate license to further your career?
That's a good question. Since I'm so early in my career, I don't really know how I'll use it, but I do know that I want to create a like kind of a worldwide hotel that would be operated on crypto. So
Okay.
I would say that would be one of the ideas that I have. Me and I haven't ran it across my mom yet, but
Hmm.
as soon as she get her real estate license, I'm gonna tell her like, hey, I want this to happen, and I want it to be like this. You got any input on it? And we can
Hmm.
go from there. Talk to some marketers or investors and see
Hmm.
what we can get.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. That sounds like that's gonna make you a lot of money in the
That's
future, especially if 50% of home buying property processes is starting to go through crypto. You getting
Hmm.
your foot in. I do want to commend you for this because you're getting your foot in on the ground floor.
mhm,
And a lot of times, unfortunately, our community is the last to know about a lot of things.
mhm,
So for us to be able to get in somewhere on the forefront in the beginning and kind of take advantage of the fact that it's new for everyone, so we can learn as much as we can now and kind of get in there. That's an amazing, journey to even start.
Yeah,
Now, Mr. Gates, I have two questions for you. The first question is, what is the next best step that you would recommend for someone who just got their real estate license? And if you did this process, how did that help expand your career?
great questions.
ooh, that is a great question. Um, One, I was gonna shout out Antonio again, man. You were doing it, bro. Like I like, man. I'm over here learning. Like, man, like we got to talk for real because this
Yeah,
metaverse thing,
you.
I can't. I got to navigate this thing. But
That's me.
I mean, to be honest, and I got two different routes because you got those who are introverted, you got those who are extroverted. You know what I'm saying? If you're extroverted, by all means, go to every network event you can. Don't. So my broker, he's real old school, and he's saying because they give you a ton of cards when you first start with real estate, right? He's like,
Mm-hmm.
wherever you go, tell everybody you in real estate, tell everybody you know, because they don't know that you tell them right, which is absolutely right,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But once again, I am not that brave. Well, I'm not that brave. Let me take that back. I am brave, but I don't like being that brave. Let's say it like that. I'll be extroverted when I need to be, but low key, this is how I am all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if no one knows you do, then no one knows you do. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And my
Yeah.
thing is this: if it's through social media, if it's actually telling each and every person that you know, be on the corner, have a sign, whatever it is, you gotta let people know what you do,
Mm-hmm.
and be intentional with your marketing because I'm going to buy me a sticker sometime next week to have it on the side of my car. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
To start that conversation, get that conversation going. Because, you'll use a prize. You know what I'm saying? And if you're single, you know what I'm saying? Ladies, men, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, if you try to get somebody's number, just, hey, here go my card. You know what I'm saying? I said real estate too, by the way.
Mm, yeah.
But
That's
just
awesome.
whatever you can leverage, my thing is this, once again, if no one knows you do, no one's going to want to, work with you, right? But they have to know
Mm-hmm.
what you do. And that's why I love social media so much. So I keep on going back to that. But like, as y'all can tell, like I leverage the hell out of my social media. Like I am posting.
Mm-hmm.
And this is guy, I don't know if y'all familiar with Molly Woolard.
Mm-mm.
But he is a content creation strategist, and I love it. Y'all think
Okay.
I'll be doing it? I ain't got nothing to say. Like he creates all these creative ways to get people's attention. I'm like, man, I thought that was so dope. And once again, he's introverted too. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we'll get up, talk to people when we have to, but once again, the beauty of it is that we're creating things, getting the conversation going, that make people think, or get them mad. We as the people, we like it spicy. You know what I'm saying? If I
Yeah.
tell you stop being broke and buy you a
Mm-hmm.
house, you're like, how dare you talk to me like that? Well, is it right? Am I telling the truth? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Is
Right.
is you renting costing you money? If so, come on down to death row. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
But
Right.
it's just knowing how to, and this is for you, Antonio. Understand your market. Like your market is, you know what I'm saying, your average to your peers, you know what I'm saying? And niche down too. Like if your audience is those around you or your age, well, you know what I'm saying, you know how to reach them better than I would. I'll tell you that.
Right.
Like I'm a
Yeah.
millennial, you know what I'm saying? That's us millennials. We were familiar with technology, but we don't depend on it wholly, you know what I'm saying? So we
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
leverage it, but we not, you know what I'm saying? Like because my oldest is 15 now, and like all she knows is social media. She don't know nothing else. You know
Mm-hmm.
what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
It's that Gen Z. They was born with technology as well as us millennials. We had the
The privilege.
advantage of growing up without it, being a part of real world and then watching it, advance from the pager to the
Mm,
big bulky cell phone that could break your face, you know
right.
what I'm saying? With the antenna.
Right.
We had the pay phones, go outside, put a quarter in that boy. You know
Mm,
what I'm saying? They don't know nothing about that.
no, no,
They
no,
don't
right.
know that.
It's only gonna get better too.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So we could do either or. So that's why, you know what I'm saying? But I know my sweet spot, like my demographic is millennials, hands down, because
Mhm.
unfortunately people I went to high school with, they haven't bought a home yet. You know what I'm saying? They've been renting all their life. Well, they'd be the first one in their family to ever buy a home. So I know my audience and I know how to get to them. You know what I'm saying? And understand as an agent and niching down. And then on top of that, like, so they take the agent, go after every lead, which is cool. That's cool. But I know my
Mhm.
niche is first time homeowners. You know what I'm saying? Educating them and showing them the process versus because now don't let me if y'all listen to this, I will take a listing any day of the week. Let me get that correct. But my
Mhm.
passion is working with people who don't have a clue about buying a home. That's why for
Mhm.
myself, that's kind of like been my groove or whatnot because I love educating people on it. You know what I'm saying? I like to think of myself as the Robert Kiyosaki of homeowning. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Because
Okay.
anybody who read Rich Dad Poor Dad understand that Rich Dad Poor Dad is not a financial book, it's a mindset book. And if I could change your
Mhm.
mindset to being a homeowner, then not saying I got you for life, but like I changed your life forever. Because now you're gonna tell your kids,
Mhm.
you're gonna tell your cousins, you're gonna tell your aunt, you're gonna tell everybody. And now that whole conversation has been started out of what I taught you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've read a quote. It's funny that you said that. I read a quote one time that said, even if I'm not the one to change the world, I want to be the one to change the mind of the person that
That's
changes the
Tupac.
world.
That's
Yeah.
Tupac right there.
You know what I'm saying? You know
Person,
what I'm saying?
I love when you sound like that's so dope to be able not to be so to be humble enough like I know I'm gonna be the one to change the world, but I know I'm gonna be the one who started that conversation. And
Mm-hmm.
that's so crazy you said it because that's how I want to live my life. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to
Mm-hmm.
spark
Yes. So now, Mr. Smith, I mean, we've been congratulating you this whole time, but we
Yeah,
gotta give you
really.
one more praise
that. Shout out to
because,
you.
man,
Like,
but let's just talk about how it only took you 2 tries to pass
yeah.
your real estate. Boom,
Woo.
you passed.
Unfortunately,
No, that's a great accomplishment because a lot of people, it takes them 3, 4, 5 times. It
I'm gonna
takes
tell you how many times I took mine.
so that's a great. That is a beautiful accomplishment. So when it comes to taking those tests and taking the courses, taking the classes, what would you say helped you the most when it came to preparing for your state test before you even got your license? Get into that.
um, I would say countless hours of studying prep agent. That
Mm-hmm.
really helped me because he got a good system. For real estate, it's like you have to understand what they're asking you to be able to answer the question.
Okay.
It's not really like you can't just memorize the answer and just think you're gonna pass because that's what I did the first time and that didn't work. So it's really just understanding the vocabulary and
Mm-hmm.
just knowing that no matter how they format questions, you still have to be able to know what they ask you. But yeah, prep agent he do a good job of actually diversifying all of like every category of real estate, and yeah, it really helped me a lot because during the first time, uh, I when I failed, I was real mad. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
I'm this next time I'm about to just give it my all. I'm about to just study 24/7. I remember getting like a 96 on the practice exam. So I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like, oh yeah, I just gotta keep this same mindset and just go harder this time because when you failing don't feel good, but it's not
Mm,
actually failing. It's just moving you to closer. You know what I'm saying? Closer to
Mm-hmm.
reaching your goal.
that's what
Yes, because honestly, you can't succeed unless you fail, right?
Right.
Because you
Mhm.
would never even know what success is unless you done failed a
Mhm.
few times. But every time you fail, you learn a lesson. I
Yep.
believe every time you fail, you learn a lesson. Each time
Yep.
it's just a lesson. Take it, pick it up, and keep going. Like, okay, well,
Mhm.
that didn't work. Figure out what went wrong there. We
Yep.
tried that. You know what I'm saying? So,
And the
mm,
yes,
win feel better when you lost, in my
yes, it
opinion.
do. It do. It
Mhm.
do. Once you lost it, then you finally be like, ah, you be
Mhm.
like, yes, because
Yep.
we were so proud.
Phew. Shout out to him, man. Because hey, let me tell you this. Because once again, I think it's easier for like you know what I'm saying people who's got out of school. But for me, I have been removed from college in so long. So I took my test. I don't say y'all because I embarrassed myself like that today. But you know what I'm saying. But I never forget my broker told me this. He said, "No one asked how many times it took you to take the test." And it's for anybody who took the test a couple of times. My broker said
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter how many times you took the test because no one asked you how many times you took the test. They just want to know that you passed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So for
You right
anybody
about that.
who's taken it a couple times, you know what I'm saying, don't get discouraged. Because I ain't gonna lie, I was discouraged. I'm like, man, I ain't taking the test. And then what y'all don't know, anybody who's listening, that every time you take the test, that's $100 off top. You have to pay
Mm-hmm.
every single time. So imagine if you take the test 4, 5, 6
Mm-hmm.
times. You know what I'm saying? But once again, I was reminded that, you know what I'm saying, even though you pay that money for that test, you know you get that money right back after you make your first transaction. So, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Who's got discouraged by taking the test. Cause I know some people who said, forget it, I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? I know plenty of people who I went to class with like, no, I'm not doing it. I failed once, I'm not doing it again. I'm like, you didn't pay all the money for this class. You better go take
Right.
it.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So no, shut up, man.
Mm-hmm.
You the man, Antonio, man. I like you, man. You like, I like
Appreciate
Man.
it, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, because I'm one of them people. That's how I would have took the test because that's how I got through. That's how I got through high school and
Mhm.
school. Really, I was in major works. I was in honor classes, and really, it's my memory. I have a photographic memory. I can look at something real quick, boom, I got it enough to, you know what I'm saying, pass it, which is not really a great thing because I didn't retain anything. I
Mm,
just memorized enough to pass the test. I mean, I retained some stuff, but I was also naturally gifted when it came to my brain anyway. But again, when it came to some stuff, 10 minutes after I took that test, even after getting an A, B, whatever, if you asked me one of those questions, baby, I probably wouldn't even be able to explain this to you. Because I don't know. I just remembered it enough to take that test. So I would have been one of them people failing over and over. Like, you know what? I got to really actually put my mind into
yeah.
studying. And I'm one of them people who get overwhelmed
Mm,
very easily if I don't. So I'm so used to getting something so quick that if it take me a minute, I can get overwhelmed. Like, you know what? Hey, I tried and it didn't work. So I'm glad, Mr. Gates, that you mentioned, like, listen, if you're one of those people like us who look, when it comes to taking that test, it may take you some time. Just keep going because yes, it is gonna cost fingerprints, testing, all that stuff. It's gonna cost you. But once you get that first property signed over,
Mm-hmm.
man, listen, when they told me I passed, because they tell you when you pass as soon as you get done the test, I did scream in that office, you know. And if anybody says no, you can't be loud, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like
Yeah.
I was LeBron hitting that game winning shot when I seen that pass. I'm like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I ran around
that's
the room, you know
it.
what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah.
I waited till I got to the Carter screams, but you know what I'm saying? Same
No,
thing.
hey, listen, hey, that's what's up though. Like, I don't listen, cause y'all know, y'all don't know. I'm like,
Right.
It was serious. It was serious. And I think
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
and I think once you pass, it's that feeling of you know what this means. You
Mm,
know what this could mean. You know the opportunities that's about to open up in front of you,
mm,
especially after putting all that work in. And so
right.
now you know it's about to be worth. It's all about to be worth it. It's all
Mhm.
about to come centerfold.
You're not gonna take for granted either. You're gonna, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna take for granted like, it's another reverse license. No, this is my license. Like
Right.
I work
Exactly.
for this, you know.
So, Mr. Gates, oh, my baby's waking up. Yes, yes, think we woke you up. Okay, sit here and relax. Um, say hey to everybody. Hey, look at your
Hey,
uncle.
What's up, Demar?
this is this is all about entrepreneurship and being a mom, y'all. We gotta do it all.
shout out to
Okay,
you, man. Shout out to you.
thank you.
We're gonna make Demar
Um,
an entrepreneur one day.
right, we're gonna learn from your uncle firsthand. And that's another thing I wanted to mention too, son, because you did all of this while still maintaining a social life. Now me, I'm 25 years old, and you know me, I'm in the house. I don't really got no
Mm-hmm.
friends. You doing all this about maintaining a social life and still being an active member in your family, being an essential member in your family. Because I know a lot of times you was the glue that was keeping everybody calm and together. So
Yeah.
how did you? And this is I really want to touch on this because mental health in our community is barely talked about. So
Mm,
how did you do all of this while maintaining a level head and not, like freaking out? Like, oh my God, I got so much on my plate.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
Um. Honestly, like it might sound cliche, but it was really just God that kept my head straight
that's
and
what's up.
focused.
Mm-hmm.
There was a whole bunch of crazy stuff going on, but I just had to just remember the bigger picture. You know what I'm saying? Just
Mm-hmm.
stay focused and just stay dedicated. I feel like the chaos in my life really was the motivation that I needed to, you know what I'm saying, keep going and pursue what I wanted to do. For
Mm-hmm.
real.
That's what's up.
Yeah, because he was watching his nephew. Let me tell y'all, I'm gonna be 100% honest with y'all. Sunday night before he took his test was the Super Bowl, and you know what I was doing? I was like, look, son, can you watch your nephews while I go to the Super Bowl party? One, completely being selfish, because I completely forgot that this young man got a whole test in the morning. But he did it. He watched it. He didn't even say, like, hey, sis, I got a test tomorrow, like, to even remind me. He
Hmm.
just picked up on his uncle dude. He's like, yeah, come on, bring him over. Maybe
Mm,
just I came, got him that night, and he called me the next day. Like, we passed. He passed. He
Hmm.
passed. So I was so excited So I was like, if he fell, I was gonna feel like that was me and my kids. Like, y'all, I had to
Yeah.
watch my kids.
I feel
So
like I felt like I was really like kind of selfish in my own way. Like during the early stages when they were first newborns, I was just
mm,
like in my room on the game, or what I'm saying, just being just real isolated. So it's like just moving forward, I definitely just want to be a part of it, like way, way more. So.
yeah, I definitely understand that. But let me tell you this. I also and am grounded enough, thanks to mommy. Shout out to mommy, y'all. Shout out our mama. Now that lady right there, that's who keep us grounded, okay? But I'm grounded enough to understand that I had my kids and you was 14 when I first had Jordan. That was 5 years ago. So I wouldn't expect you at 14 to be changing diapers or being any much of any parent, because I want you to enjoy your life and your youth as much or as long as you can, because you're so
Mhm.
young. You got such a bright future ahead of you. The last thing I want to do is put the responsibility of my children that I had, onto you. That's not your responsibility. So I definitely understood. And you was a 14-year-old boy. Most teenagers don't want to be bothered with the
Mhm.
world. They too focused on what they got going on. So yeah, but Mr. Gates, do you have any advice for any young man looking to start their entrepreneur journey?
Oh, um, the greatest advice I can tell you is, I know
Mm-hmm.
it's a cliche to say, but like, what I'm saying, your network is your net worth, and that's real. And my
Mm-hmm.
thing is like, I don't have nobody negative around me at all. You can keep that negativity. You can keep that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't do that. Well, you stay over there. I'm gonna do it over here.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mhm.
shout out to everyone around me, man, because I know some dope people, man. And like, the energy is always like, all right, what are we doing next? You know what I'm saying? What are we doing next? All right. And it's not like we can't do. The question is never is how can we, well, the question is never will we be able to do, is the question is when. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
take for instance the podcast. We don't know nothing about no podcast. We literally just sat around, was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's do something different. You know what I'm saying? In city of Cleveland, I know cliche to say, but you know what I'm saying? Like, everyone know if you ain't on, people don't really rock with you, right? We like, man, that's
Mm-hmm.
you go to Atlanta, you
Yes.
go to New York, you go to California, you go to all different places where black people are coming together and they're actually supporting each other, like, for real. And we
Mm-hmm.
know in Cleveland, you know what I'm saying, there's people in Cleveland that who will be behind that, and they have, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um like, we're booked up, our podcast is booked all the way up until June. We're actually looking for people, we're actually booking up for July. Like, that's how far out people
Ooh.
reach
Yeah.
out to us. And once again, they get behind it. And my thing is this, and I said all to say is like, be careful who you have around you, because one negative person could have told me like, a podcast, Brandon, really? And
Mm-hmm.
that could have dead the whole thing if I would have listened. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
man, and like right now in my life, like, I lay to anybody, like, I don't have no negativity around me. And it's not like
Mm-hmm.
negative stuff don't come up. My thing is like, one, either we're gonna find a solution, or we gonna find a positive at all. Because one thing, um, that, like you said earlier, failure is just, you know what I'm saying, that means you try, but you didn't see that one
Mm-hmm.
time. Just keep going. I think Steve
Mm-hmm.
Harvey said it best. He said, no one remember all the shots that, you know what I'm saying, Steph Curry took. They just knew that when he made it, he made it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing, you apply that to any industry, any career, anything. You know what I'm saying? That's how it was for me. Like, when I first got my license, man, I'm a license in February. I get my first listing, my first transaction until September. And I remember the first
Mm-hmm.
thing everybody asked me, you do any transactions yet, Brennan? Nope. That's cool, but it's coming though. I'll keep telling them it's coming though. It's coming
Mm-hmm.
soon. And I tell you, I know everyone's in the industry, but when you do that first one, it's over with. It's over with.
Yeah.
It's just like anything else. Like, people got to see what you're doing in order for them to get behind you. And now here come everybody, mama. Oh yeah, I got somebody who wants to buy a house. Oh, where's you at? A couple months back, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. that's
But it is what
that's
it
where I am now.
is. Exactly, you know what I'm saying? But if anything, your network, and then being consistent even though in those times where you don't feel if you don't feel like what you're doing is going to make a difference, or it's going to help in the long run. So being around the right people, being consistent, and you know what I'm saying. And for, you know what I'm saying, everybody want to hit me with universe type stuff. I believe in God. You know what I'm saying. And I'm just
Yes.
going to be real now. And I say I don't care who I offend, but I will say this: I wholeheartedly know that anything and everything that has ever good happened in my life, or even bad, was because God orchestrated that way.
Yes.
My boy Keenan King Dad on Instagram, man, I love that man for life. Because the crazy part about working my license during that time, I was going through separation slash divorce, right? And I was going
Mm-hmm.
through real bad depression. I prayed to God, said, God, I need somebody in my life to help me out. And my boy Daz, he was there for me, right? And
Mm-hmm.
one of the things we would say to each other, I'll call him. I'm like, man, I'm having a bad day, man. And he would say Romans 8:28. And then anybody not familiar with that scripture, it's all things come together for the
One of
good
my
of those who love
favorite
God.
ones.
You know what I'm saying? And like we
Yes.
and he would say to me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like all is it some things, is it partly things, you know what I'm saying? No, it's all things. All,
Yes.
all things come together for good of those for who are the Lord. You know what I'm saying? I gotta remind myself of that. The bad time,
Mm-hmm.
the good time, all of it is meant for me to, you know what I'm saying, learn something that's gonna put me further on in life. So
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get along with it because I can.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, but I really like how you mentioned networking, because I truly believe networking can get you indoors that degrees can't. That learning everything in the world can't get you in, because it's sometimes just about
Mhm.
who you work with, and sometimes, a lot of times, networking and getting out there to other people, it'll open your mind to different things and spaces, like you said, the podcast, where you're like, okay, well, it'll open your mind to new gateways and opportunities that you may not even knew was out there.
Yeah.
But because you worked with this person and they was doing this and doing that and doing that, now you are expanding ways that you can market or advertise or reach other people
Oh yeah.
that you may not even know existed at the
Oh,
time. So yes, networking is definitely one. And we as well definitely believe in God, and we keep him at the forefront of all that we do,
mm,
because yes, all things do work out for your greater good
mm,
when you do love the Lord and you have a purpose. I want to tell everybody out there listening, make sure that your purpose exceed, I guess, your financial goal or financial gain or success or fame or whatever you're looking for. Make
that's
sure that your purpose is really a good purpose, because once you're not receiving the money that you feel like you're supposed to be coming in because you done did this, that, and the third, the only thing that's gonna keep you going is the reason why you're doing it.
mm,
Like you said, Mr. Gates, you want to help 100 people. You want to help people in our city, period. Even if it doesn't stop at 100,
yeah.
to be homeowners, because you understand the importance of making that transition from a renter to a property owner. So keep going, y'all, and have a purpose that's greater than financial gain, greater than fame
Mm,
or success. Have a purpose that's really going, basically, like we said, maybe even change the mind of somebody that's going to change the world. You know what I'm saying? So that
'cause
is good.
the money's a byproduct. People worry about the money. The money gonna come. You know what I'm saying? But like I
Hmm.
said, at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, the thing's gonna fuel you. Like I said, that purpose. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
like in networking, like that person you meet a year from now, you ain't gonna make the money when I'm up top. But that year
Hmm.
later, you know what I'm saying? When they want to buy a home, when they're looking to buy a commercial space, they're gonna hit you up then. So
Hmm.
don't think about like, oh, the money ain't coming. It's gonna come. You know what I'm saying? It might
Yes.
be right here and now, but it's gonna come.
And when it come, you gonna be so invested in your purpose and in your journey that
Hmm.
that's just gonna be an added bonus to it. That's just
Mm-hmm.
gonna be like, okay, all right, I see what's going on here.
Hmm.
But that's just gonna be fuel to your fire to even expand your brand, or just go big or go home, right? Okay, so you guys are the very first guest on our podcast. So again, I'm very
Wow.
thankful. Yeah. So how did I do, y'all? How did I
That was
do?
good. No, that was
You're
that's
professional.
Thank
yeah,
you.
very professional.
Thank you. I'm so excited for y'all to be here. But I also believe, just like me and Mr. Gates been talking about throughout this whole podcast, is network can get you into doors, like I said, that degrees can't. So
Mm-hmm.
for this last segment, I want you guys, we can start with Mr. Smith, to either shout out some black entrepreneurs that you
Mm-hmm.
guys know in the city and their business, Or three, give the viewers three resources that they can use to help leverage wherever they are in their life and in their
All
career.
right. So the businesses I got my boy Jeremy. He a chef. He cook fire food, all type of food, seafood, soul food. It don't matter. He gonna cook it. But you can follow him on Instagram at the chef
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy.
Okay.
And then my other friend Amani, she got all type of cosmetics. Um, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Nails, hair, all that. But her Instagram is Amani Nails underscore. And
Okay.
then this clothing brand, they got all type of raw jumpsuits and stuff like that. I'm about to get me one. But it's
Okay.
called Mellow Six. And it's
Okay.
Mellow Mello and then Six.
Okay. And it is Imani spelled with Imoni or
It's
Emoni?
a I. Yeah, it's a I.
Okay. I.
IMONINAILS underscore.
Mhm. Okay. And then the chef Jeremy Jeremy, right?
Instead of the Y, it's the E at the end.
Okay. Okay. All
Hmm.
right. We want to make sure we get it right now so we can reach you.
Right.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Gates, do you have three black entrepreneurs or businesses or three resources?
We will be another hour messing around with me. But if I want to shout to anybody in Cleveland who wants to do have a business, shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's
Mm-hmm.
hard out here. But if I had to be specific, I gotta shout out the crew at the Pull Up Experience because
Mm-hmm.
they got put up with me. They got put up with me every week. So shout out to Beneficial Babe, Marquita. She's my biggest headache, but that's my homie for life.
Mm-hmm.
That's my business wife right there.
Okay.
uh, Shout out to Nakia, to you Wands. She has been the glue that holds it together. Those are my two
Mm-hmm.
co-hosts, by the way. And then Arlo, where's Arlo on Instagram.com? Then Alien Photos, my man, Alien Eyes Photos, my man Steve. They're photographers and videographers for the podcast. So shout out to them. Without them, man, none of this would have happened. So I want to take the time to appreciate them for real, for real. And that's kind of like twofold. And I know we kept talking about podcasting, but I promise y'all, man, if I recommend everyone do a podcast, that's where everything leaning towards. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
no one's alert radio anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
y'all look at different Spotify, Apple, all of them have dedicated things to podcasts. That's where everything leaning towards.
Yeah.
And like you said, like this podcast right here, this is a great way to network, and this is a great way. You want to talk about like masterminding? Ask the
Mm-hmm.
questions to the person you interviewing. You know what I'm saying? You want to learn. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
Mm-hmm.
that's literally all I do. Everybody like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, how you come to some great questions? These are the questions I want to know. I want the answer to these questions.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know what
That's
I'm
how I was looking when I was doing this my research and asking questions. I'm like, I just knew I wanted this to be informal and inspirational. I'm like, yeah, it's some things I want to know. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, especially if I'm a millennial as well. So the metaverse and the cryptocurrency, you know, I'm like, we just stay in reality, you know what I'm saying? But that's not realistic when it comes to where we are in the future. So I do want to thank you guys so much. My son is getting his tablet, so I'm sure we're about to hear something. So let me just do my closing. So again, you guys, thank you so much for being a part of this episode. Thank you, my JTDco community, for tuning in with us today. If you want to be a part of before I do that, is there a way that anybody can reach you guys or get in contact with you guys in case?
I'll let you
Yeah.
go first.
You can follow me on Instagram at 5knino, or you
Mm-hmm.
can email me at antoniosmith5k@gmail.com.
Awesome.
So, if y'all want, y'all can follow me on all platforms at Not Your Average Agent, and average is abbreviated AVG. I know it's long, but it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is like I don't really look at my email. So you guys ever want to hit me up, 216-450-4048. Call me, text me, I'll be available or whatnot.
Awesome. So it's time to bring this podcast to an end. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's podcast and being a part of the JTD conversation. Tune in every Wednesday at 2:30 here on JTD Talks, available everywhere podcasts can be heard. Keep up with us outside of the podcast at jtdco.shop on Facebook and Instagram, as well as JTDco on YouTube. And as always, I will talk to you guys later. Bye,
Peace
guys.
out.